Hello everyone. Today we are talking about presets. As you probably know, I'm not really a preset guy. Actually, I'm exactly the opposite. But I have to admit that the presets can be a great starting point. And there's also a great learning tool, just like transcriptions. When I say learning tool, I mean taking a preset apart to understand how it built, why certain choices were made, how the parameters were set, and how all these elements work together to create a specific sound. In this video, we'll analyze two organ presets from Aiki Multimedia's B3X plugin. I think it's a very good plugin, not only because it sounds great, but also because it offers very deep sound design options. And we'll see some of them today. One quick note before we start. I wanted to clarify that these presets are the plugin's factory presets. They are not sounds I created myself. And I have to shorten and change both intros because otherwise YouTube would have blocked the video for the copyright reasons. So let's get started. We begin with a weather shade of pale. This one is one of the most iconic Hammond organ sound ever recorded. The original was played on the Hammond M102, a spinet organ that uses the same tone generation as the console models, the B3, C3, and A100. Let's start with drawbars. This one. The settings is the famous 6886 with the second harmonic percussion on second harmonic, slow decay and soft volume, no chorus or vibrato, and the Leslie is set on slow speed. Very good. It's a very classic Hammond organ sound. Nothing unusual here, especially compared to the second preset we'll look at later. Now let's open the stomp page. This one. Whoa. Here we can see a 10-band API style EQ, cutting some low frequencies, and this one, it's a very clean and precise studio equalizer. Then we have a spring reverb. Since it's placed before the Leslie, the reverb rotates together with the organ sound. Now let's move to the cabs section. Here we are. Nothing special here. The Leslie is mic'd in a traditional way, with two microphones placed close to the cabinet at 90 degrees. The Leslie model is a 122 amplifier and cabinet, with the gain set fairly low. The goal isn't distortion, it's simply a warm and smooth Leslie sound. We'll come back later to the guitar amp and mixer tabs because they're actually one of the most interesting parts of today's analysis. Finally, let's check the post-effects section. Okay. These are the effects added after the microphones, just like in a real studio mix. There's a little compression using an 1176, a classic studio compressor that adds body and control without squashing the sound. After that we have a Neve style EQ, this one, with only about 1 dB adjustment, almost impossible to hear by itself. And finally, a small amount of digital reverb after the Leslie. Overall, it's a very good preset. It's simple, it sounds authentic, and is an excellent starting point if you want to build classic ambient sounds. Before we move on to the second preset, let me make one quick point. If even a simple sound like this requires so many deliberate choices, imagine how much more difficult it is to recreate a sound completely from scratch, without a preset to study. If you'd like some help developing that kind of understanding for your own setup, you can book a free call with me using the link in the description. Now let's move on, because the next preset is much more interesting. Let's talk about Perfect Strangers. There are a lot of interesting things happening here. Let's start with the drawbars. This one. The first 5 drawbars are fully out. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. There's no percussion, no chorus, and no vibrato. The Leslie is still on slow speed, but this time it won't be working alone. Now let's open the stomp page. Oh. Here we find a Tube Screamer style overdrive pedal, the same type of pedal guitar players use to add a grit to their sound. It works. The drive setting is quite aggressive. Then the 10-band EQ reduces overall level and cuts many frequencies, especially in the mid-range, this one, helping to control the distortion. There's also a little spring reverb to give the sound a bit more space. And now we get to the really interesting part, the cabs section. Here, both the Leslie and the guitar amplifier are active and blended together. Here. Very interesting. Let's look at them separately. The Leslie EX. Here we are. The Leslie is a model 147 with the gain set quite around 7. The mid-range is slightly reduced, probably to leave some space for the guitar amp. Speaking of that, is the guitar amp. It's the British LED model, basically a Marshall style amplifier, obviously. The gain is around halfway, the bass is boosted, and the treble is almost completely removed, probably to let the Leslie provide all movement and brightness. There are also a spring reverb to help blend everything together. The mixer tab let us hear both signals separately and mix them however we like. This is a really useful feature. We know that Jon Lord experimented extensively with Hammond organs and guitar amplifiers. This setup recreates exactly this concept and is very well done. As another example, let's briefly open the Purple Bee preset, this one. Okay. Here we can see that most of the sound comes from the guitar amplifier, this one, while another parts come from the stationary Leslie. The Leslie is on stop. Break. That's why this preset sounds much aggressive and direct. Now let's go back to the Perfect Strangers preset. Here. And check the post effects. Okay. Again, we have a little compression. Then there's a 1081 Studio EQ and adding some presence around 3.3 kHz, followed by just a touch of reverb. And that's all. So, what do you think? Have you ever analyzed a preset like this? Have you ever wondered how these presets are actually designed? If not, I hope this video has given you a useful way to approach them. As you've seen, two very different presets can teach us a lot about sound design. Of course, every sound should be adapted to your own music and your own setup. But understanding how a preset was programmed makes it much easier to know what to change and why. If you're struggling with your own sounds and you'd like some help, book a free call directly with me using the link in the description. Together, we can improve your sounds and build a real understanding of sound design, so that presets became nothing more than a starting point. Well, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.